International terror threats hit home this evening with a Madison man tied to connections to ISIS. Joshua Van Haften is accused of trying to bring supplies to the terror group. He appeared in federal court this morning after he was arrested at O'Hare Airport yesterday. Our team coverage includes Valina Jones on his Rock County connections and Jessica Arp. Jessica, I understand you were in the courtroom for today's hearing.
Well, yeah, that's right. It was a pretty brief hearing that simply set out a timeline of events and determined that Van Haften would stay in federal custody as he faces charges of trying to join one of the world's most dangerous terrorist groups. In federal court Thursday, 34-year-old Joshua Van Haften faced charges that he attempted to join and support a terrorist organization.
The case began the way many cases do. People heard him saying things, saw him doing things. They called law enforcement, and we started working the case.
Court documents allege Van Haften's international travel began in 2012, spending 2 years living in Egypt, where he had police contact after photographing a military facility and was returned by the embassy to Wisconsin, where he came to live in a Cross Plains home from January 2014 until August of that year. Federal prosecutors then allege he booked a flight in the Chicago O'Hare Airport on August 26th, traveling to Istanbul, Turkey, with the intent of traveling to the Syrian border to contact ISIS terrorists. He was ultimately detained by Turkish officials on an immigration issue in October of 2014 and has been in their custody since. His return trip to O'Hare Airport Wednesday was with the FBI, where he was arrested on American soil.
The complaint sets out, I think, a fairly robust case of, as I said, statements to individuals, statements on social media, actual travel to Turkey, and an actual attempt that he confirms on social media to enter into Syria.
That complaint shows details of the statements. The FBI says he told people he intended to join ISIS, posted and chatted on Facebook saying he tried to enter Syria and supported jihadist actions and would be part of attacks, and that he tried to enter Syria on a day it was bombed.
In any case like this, oftentimes the first thing we think is, wow, what would somebody be thinking? We don't have any information to indicate that he has any incompetency problems or mental health problems such that it would affect his knowing what he was doing.
Van Haften's federal defense attorney said today he looked forward to more facts coming to light. The U.S. attorney will take the case to a grand jury later this month, and if they indict, Van Haften will enter a plea on April 24th. He would face 15 years in prison if convicted on these charges.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Our team coverage continues now with Valina Jones, who looked into his criminal past. Valina, you found literally dozens and dozens of arrests here.
That's right, Michelle. The Janesville police chief tells me that Van Haften, who grew up in Rock County, has been arrested more than 60 times from 1993 to 2007. And not all of those arrests were in Janesville. Pages of criminal complaints show prior convictions in Rock County, including a felony for a physical assault involving a gun in '98, a sexual assault of a minor when he was 18, and most recently, failure to provide sexual registry information in 2013 after he told authorities he was planning to move to Egypt in May of 2012. That same month, he was refused entry into Canada from a flight originating in Chicago because of what authorities call possession of threatening paperwork. Records show Van Haften later made several threats in writing to the Department of Corrections, United States, and himself, including hate and death notes, including leaving a voice message to the Department of Corrections claiming he hated America. Van Haften's former employer in Janesville, who did not want to be identified, says he's surprised.
To have this happen so close to home, I guess that's the shocker. You know, we'd like to say we live in a better community, or we're so far from that this is happening somewhere else, but really it's either in your house or it's right next door.
That former employer says he never mentioned politics, but describes his behavior as strange, making other employees nervous, and the Janesville Landscaping Company fired Van Haften after only months of working for the company. He later threatened a former co-worker by phone, blaming him for losing his job, and was later convicted of telephone harassment in that incident, Michelle.
All right, Valina Jones reporting for us tonight. Valina, thank you.